Hello. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about routine for me, and what that kind of looks like in my life, and how it's important for me. Um, this morning I got up. I'm trying to kind of implement more routine. I feel like most of my life I've just kind of, I don't know, tried to listen to my body and just like sleep however long I needed. And like, I don't know, whatever it was that I needed to do, I would get up just in time to do that. And like, I think it was a lot of executive dysfunction in some of the things that like I couldn't get up earlier or get up to do things, like motivate myself to get up and do them, because I was like, oh, well, like, what's the point? Like, I guess mental health plays a lot into it. I think this is going to be a lot about routine and my mental health, and how those things very much go together. For me, I have struggled with mental health issues for a long time. Not normally severe. Normally just like a low level of depression, or like a panic attacks occasionally, but like the more that I've learned about autism, the less I have gotten panic attacks, which I find to be very interesting. The more that I have implemented routines that I already wanted to do, but have just had a hard time getting done, I have had less depression. And I feel like without learning about autism, I wouldn't have been able to get to this point, because I'm 25. I've been struggling for as long as I can remember with this stuff. So like how was it going to change without learning more about myself? And I think that's why I had really started over this summer just trying to figure out what's going on in my brain. And I had been self-medicating sort of with medical cannabis for 4 years, starting when I was 20. And it just, I feel like it masked a lot of things, or helped me to mask better, or to not acknowledge things. And in some ways, like, I really needed something at the time. Like, there's a lot going on, and I needed some help. And I couldn't really, therapy didn't help. Like, I didn't understand myself. And so, like, it just wasn't working. So it's not to say that, like, I regret that. I don't. I do think that it's a band-aid, and it isn't like a long-term, it didn't fix anything. Again, autism is not something to be fixed. I don't think that it's, while it can be disabling, it also can be a really amazing thing, and it can be a gift to society if if it's viewed that way. But like, for me, routine is when I was struggling with anxiety. I had a really hard time making routines, because it just was very overwhelming for me, because I just felt like I couldn't do it for some reason. Like, I just couldn't do it. And so now that I've been kind of unpacking that and realizing that, like, oh, like, I don't need to fix that. I don't need to fix this. Not feeling like I have to fix myself all the time. I've been having a lot less of the anxiety, which is great. Not that it doesn't exist. It still happens. Mostly when I feel like I'm not being perceived the way that I would like. Whenever there's like an awkward social situation and I feel like I did something wrong, It definitely can still come up, but it's just not nearly as often or immediately in the morning, which is what used to happen for me. Now I've been trying to implement more routines because I realized that the more I have routine, the more comfortable I feel, the more I feel like I have control over my life, and the less hopeless I feel, because I think that feeling out of control and hopelessness go together very closely. When you feel like you don't have any control over your life, you feel like, well, what's the point? What could I possibly do to make this better, And so I've been trying to really implement the things that I've already wanted to do, but I wasn't able to because of my anxiety. So this morning I got up and did some yoga. I have to be careful with that because of my extra hypermobility. But just getting some type of movement in my body in the morning is really helpful. Just to kind of check in with myself, see where I'm at, and also to help with general stiffness in my back. I sit a lot at work, or I don't always have the best posture, which I know is a common problem for neurodivergent people, is that we sit weird. So I think that really is helpful for me. I want to try doing some different things, not just yoga. I think that yoga really was something that I did in college because I was good at it without really having to try, because I am super stretchy. But I want to work a little bit more on the strengthening things, because again, the stretchiness comes easy to me. I'm just not very strong. And so I think that working on some gentle strengthening exercises would be really good for me. But yeah, I think that is something, when I do it, I feel really good. And so I want to keep doing it and not get discouraged when, most of my workout routines or whatever would happen. I'd stick with it for a few weeks and then I'd get sick for some reason, and I would stop and never get back into it until months later. So it just, it's something that I'm really wanting to do on a routine. I tend to also get really discouraged because I have no space to really do that. I had to do it in the back room in my house, which there's a lot of people. It's a very small house, and there's just really no privacy, and that is a really tough area for me in my life. Is just I need my alone time. I just don't feel comfortable doing things when I know I'm being perceived. So thankfully, if I get up early, I can do it before other people are awake. So I got up at 5 today. I work at 8:30, so that's a pretty big window there. I did 30 minutes of yoga, and then I took a shower because I try to do that every other day. I would like to get on an actual schedule with that. I don't know, scheduling things just makes me happy. I really like to have things planned and predictable, I guess. So I did that, and I already had my outfit picked out because last night I was you know what, this is something I really want to do as well, and that way I can get up. I don't have to think about it. I think for me, making decisions when I first wake up in the morning is really hard. And I think that's a big source of why I had so much anxiety before. Not only was I just upset at myself as soon as I woke up because I was why do I feel like this? What's wrong with me? But also I had to make so many decisions when I first woke up. And so doing those things ahead of time so that I don't have to think about all of those things, make all of those decisions, I think that's going to be really useful for me. I also have been just like, I don't know, I wear like the exact same shoes every single day. There's certain things that, like, if I just had 7 pairs of black, like, comfortable, stretchy dress pants, and then, like, 7 pairs of, like, black t-shirts with no tags, and, like, a few blazers or whatever, then I would, like, never have to worry about what to wear because it would always be the same and it would just be there. And that honestly sounds much easier to me, especially like I just wear sweatpants and whatever t-shirt I have like on the weekends because like I don't care, nobody's really gonna see me. And also it's all about comfort, but like when I'm at work I do generally care, like I want to make sure that my outfit doesn't look bad. I don't know. But like finding a shirt that goes with those pants, it's like, ugh, it just takes time and I don't enjoy it. So, yeah. But like that's kind of how I've been wanting to structure my mornings, and like I always go downstairs and make my bagel with cream cheese. That's like every morning I eat the same thing. But it's easy, it's fast, I can eat it while I'm driving. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think that these things are helping me, and I realize that when I don't do them, that's when my mental health starts to decline. So, like, my routines are really deeply connected with how my mental health affects me. And then they end up kind of, it's kind of a circle where, like, if I'm not doing those things, then my depression gets worse, and then it's harder to do those things. So, right now, I'm just really trying to make sure that I stay on top of things. That's kind of my first priority. I have been having some stress over work. I had said something to my boss about wanting more leads, and I feel like I said the wrong thing, and I want to talk to her about it because it's not that I don't want more leads, I guess. I want to be an asset to the business in a way that also is not detrimental to my health. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's even something I will be able to do. I like routine. I like being able to come in, like, every day I come in and I do, like, the exact same things every day. Make sure everything looks good. Make sure everything's stocked up. Make sure that, everything's working properly. Check the schedule, see who's coming in, make sure the rooms are set up. Like, all of that stuff is just, like, that's easy for me. And that's something I actually enjoy doing. If we have little projects that, like right now, we're doing angels for an angel tree where we're, like, donating gifts to children that have suffered from domestic violence. And so it's really, like, that is fun for me. I'm doing, it's kind of crafty, making these angels, paper laminated angels. And so, like, that, I did that for 6 hours. I had to cut out all of these angels, put them together, laminate them, cut them out again, like, as a whole thing. And that was great. Like, I love that. If I could do stuff like that all the time, that's great. It's the, like, right now, I'm kind of tasked with, like, trying to, like, make a list of different businesses based off of these different newsletters that she had me sign up for, and like see if these are people that I could reach out to see if they'd be interested in like our space or meetings or whatever. I don't know. I don't have anybody on my list yet, and she wanted to meet with me today, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to tell her, like, I'm not even there yet. Like, I don't skim. I really can't skim. It was a big problem in college. I read everything, and it takes me a long time. It takes me a really long time to read, which is one reason why I don't read as often as I would like, because it takes so long. And if I have a deadline or like this pressure that I need to be faster, like it makes it really stressful and not enjoyable for me. So I was like, well, I'm going to just take my time and just read everything and just tell her that, hey, like, I'm not there yet. Like, I am slow. Not only has my evaluator said that I process things slowly, but like, I know this about myself, and I need to take my time with it. But also, like, making this list for some reason seems like impossible. Like, who do I even write? Like, I don't even know. Do I just write down everything? Do I write down only, like, I don't know who to write, who would need our services. I don't, like, this particular project is just confusing for me, and I want to tell her, like, hey, I'll try my best. It's gonna take me some time. I'll let you know when I have the list, but I just want to know a way that I can apply my skills, things that I am good at, to the business and be an asset. Not trying to do things that I'm not good at, that no matter how hard I try, it's just not gonna work as well as somebody who has a different skill set. Like, I am really good at doing mail sorting and doing like proofreading, because I do take my time and I read everything and I notice everything usually, and like, I'm good at that. There are other things that I'm good at that I just think maybe there's a way I can do that more somehow. I don't know what exactly the application is going to look like, and I think I just need to have a conversation about it, because there are certain things that I just am not good at, and I don't really want to try to force myself to do them. Like, part of why I took this job is because I wanted to be better at certain things that I'm not good at. And I always like to challenge myself. I want to learn. I want to, grow. But honestly, the more I'm learning about myself, the more I'm like, I just don't think that this is for me. Like, there are certain aspects, not the whole job, but certain aspects that I am not good at, and I don't want to emphasize those. Like, that's like a necessity. I'll do them when I have to. Not a, like, I want to focus on this and like, yeah, it's negatively affecting my mental health, just trying to force myself to be somebody that I'm not. Even though I kind of said that I wanted that in a way by saying I wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone, but I've changed my mind, and I've realized that I actually want to create a comfort zone that I don't think I've ever even had. Like, I don't think I've ever been comfortable. I think that's part of the reason why I have struggled for so long with my mental health and not being happy at any job, and feeling like, well, what's the point of this? Like, I don't even make it a year most places. There's only one place that I made it 3 years, and that was because it was really close by. I had friends. I made a couple of friends there. and I was able to do like a bunch of different jobs there throughout my time there, so I didn't do the exact same thing every time. I get bored with jobs, and I think it's because I never really find my groove. Like, I never really find my place. I never figured out what I need in order to make it work. Like, it just tends to really negatively affect my mental health no matter where I am, depending on what it is. Like, the one place that I worked that, like, I actually really enjoyed the way it was structured, was the bakery, where I was a baker. And I just struggled physically with that one because there was too much manual labor, and the way that the recipes had to be done were not conducive to my physical restrictions and limitations. So that was something that I couldn't keep up with, unfortunately. And so it's like, I really enjoy having those repetitive tasks and the following the instructions, like having recipe, like that was great. I loved that. I mean, yeah, sometimes it was hard because she had very high standards, and if things weren't done perfectly, then they had to be redone, or we had to figure out what we could do with it. And like, it was kind of hard. There were days where I felt like, oh, was that, am I even good at this? But it was just because she had very high standards, and I understand that, like, having consistency is extremely important in a bakery, or anytime you're creating a product. So, like, that I didn't mind. Like, I was like, okay, I can work with this. I can get better at accepting criticism, even though that's pretty hard for me. But, like, I knew that she didn't mean it personally, and that she really just wanted to see me succeed. And I know that that's how they feel here. They say it multiple times, like, they just want to see me succeed. But succeed in what? Like, this is not a job that I ever would have picked for myself, 5 years ago, when I was thinking about what I really want to do with my life. Like, this isn't it. I don't know what is, and I think that's a big struggle for me too, is like, I don't know what I want to do. I want to be happy. I want to make enough money to live off of. I don't like the structure of, I don't like the 9 to 5. I never have. I don't like having to go to work every freaking day of the week. It feels like I can't do the things that I really want to or need to do, which is organize my house and do the laundry and do, any of that stuff, cooking, making sure that, like, everything is neat. I can't do that because I don't have the time or energy to do it. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to working full time, and that's really discouraging for me. And I feel like, why can't I? Or why can't I just be happy with where I'm at? Like, I have a job that pays better than any of the other jobs I've had. It's still not great for where I live, unfortunately, but, like, it's something. It covers what bills I have right now. It's like, why can't I be happy with that? Like, I would rather be at home doing my own thing. I wish that I could do a job that was virtual, but, like, I don't even know what I would do. I think it's I'm having a bit of executive dysfunction when it comes to what to do. Like, I don't know, and it just gets so overwhelming that I just can't even look into it. Like, I don't know what to do, and so it's too much. I need order and structure, and sometimes I need instruction, and I don't have any of that. I'm afraid I'm not going to get the diagnosis that I think I have, which is tomorrow is my last assessment appointment. And I do want to express that to her, and I'd also want to express a couple of other things, like my work struggles. I don't know. I've been trying to give her as much information as possible because I don't want to be dismissed again. I've been dismissed a lot when it comes to the medical field. Nobody can figure out what's going on with me, so they just say, "Oh, you're fine." And I'm like, "But I'm not fine." So we'll see. But, yeah, we'll see. I know that no matter what, I've learned a lot about myself, and these things are still true for me, whether I get a diagnosis, the way that I feel, the way that things work for me. I just don't want to be invalidated, so, like, I don't want a misdiagnosis, but I am very convinced that this is the thing that would answer a lot of the struggles I've had mentally, socially, cognitively, in school. Like, there's a lot of things that I've struggled with that, it's not like I wasn't smart. Like, I got A's, but, like, it felt like everything took me longer than everybody else. I had to work harder. My brain hurt all the time. It felt like my brain's starting to hurt now. Like, I think I'm probably going to wrap it up soon. But, like, it was just too much. Like, I felt like, when is this going to be over? I felt like that all the time in school. Like, I can't wait to be out of school so then my brain can finally take a break. Like, I felt like an old computer that overheats and you can hear the fan running and it's just like, no, but it starts freezing up. And, like, that's how my brain works. And I think I'm afraid that, it's going to be a thing throughout my life. I'm afraid that I won't be able to find a job that makes enough money that is okay with me being who I am, which is a little slow. I'm a little slow. I'm not dumb. It just takes me longer to do things and to think through things. And I think through every aspect normally. Like, it takes me a long time, and I'm worried. I try not to be, but I'm worried that people won't think I'm enough. And that was my mantra for today in yoga was, I am enough. Because I am enough no matter what I feel I should be doing, whatever standard that I've put on myself that it is unrealistic. I am enough no matter what happens this week with talking to my boss and this assessment, and whenever I get that assessment information back, which is probably going to be a little while, a week or two from tomorrow. So whatever happens, I am still enough. Whatever happens with this job, I am enough. And so are you. And if you can relate to any of this, awesome. I'm going to try to actually link my information in here. I think I just typed it in, and, I don't really know how this stuff works yet, to be honest, so just bear with me. But yeah, that's my life. As the podcast says, it's just a day in my life. But yeah, I'm really bad at ending stuff, but yeah.